The cake knife was still in her hand when she said it. "My son," she announced, smiling like she'd just told everyone the weather, "is your husband's child. So as his heir, I'll take half of your $800,000 house." She even produced a folded document from her purse. My husband's will. I just stared at her. The room had gone quiet. Balloons swayed from the air conditioning. Her 1-year-old banged his fist on the high-chair tray, oblivious. "Oh," I said softly, trying to hold back my laughter, "because my husband was not the man she thought he was." I met Daniel at 23. He was magnetic in a way that made people lean closer, speak softer. My sister Julia adored him from the start, or so I thought. She was my best friend, my confidant. She helped pick my wedding dress. She held my bouquet when I married him. It wasn't until 3 years into our marriage that the distance began. She stopped calling as much. When she did, her voice was tight, hurried. Daniel, too, was different. Longer showers, more late nights at work. I asked once if there was something going on. They both laughed. Too hard. The truth came in pieces. A baby photo in Julia's kitchen. The infant's eyes were a mirror of Daniel's. A slip in conversation when she called me by his pet name for me. And then, 6 months before he died, I found the text, "We'll tell her one day. She'll understand." I didn't confront them, not then. Because if you're going to dismantle someone's world, you don't do it in the heat of the moment. You do it slowly, deliberately. When Daniel's cancer diagnosis came, Julia was there for us. She drove him to appointments when I couldn't, sat beside him in the hospital. She thought she was being subtle. She wasn't. He died in spring. The funeral was small, private. Julia wept harder than I did. I watched her, wondering if she was crying for him or for the life she thought she'd inherit. 2 weeks later, she invited me to her son's first birthday. I knew what was coming. She'd waited for the right audience. Family, friends, people who would witness my humiliation. She thought she was walking into a scene where she would control the script. Instead, she walked into mine. I took the will from her hand and read it slowly, my face unreadable. The signature was real. The bequests were real. Half the house to be split between his children, except Daniel had no biological children. Not anymore. A month before his death, while he was heavily medicated, I'd convinced him, gently, quietly, to take a DNA test. I told him I was doing ancestry research. He agreed. When the results came in, I didn't even have to say anything. He saw the truth in the numbers. The boy Julia claimed was his wasn't. I'd had the test done twice, once through a consumer kit, once through a private lab. Both results matched, and both were notarized, dated, and filed. Daniel rewrote his will a week later. The new version revoked any inheritance to non-biological children. He didn't tell Julia. Neither did I. So when she handed me that old will, I almost pitied her. Almost. I set it down on the table between the party favors and the untouched slices of cake. "Julia," I said, keeping my voice light, "you should have done your homework." Her smile faltered. "You don't," she began. I pulled out my phone, opened the PDF, and slid it across to her. The new will. Legal, binding, final. Her face drained of color as she read. "You're lying!" I tilted my head. "Then call your lawyer. But be quick, I already sent them a copy." That was just the first crack. I'd spent the past month gathering every piece of evidence of her affair with Daniel. Old texts, emails, receipts from hotels, photos from security cameras near his office. I didn't need them for court. I needed them for leverage. And leverage works best when it's public. I sent the package anonymously to her husband, to her in-laws, to 3 of her closest friends. By the end of the week, she was out of her marital home. Financially, she was already strained. The father of her child, not Daniel, wasn't paying support. She'd counted on Daniel's money to keep her afloat. Now she had nothing from him, and, with her marriage imploding, even less from anyone else. The final nail was the house. My house. She'd threatened to take half. Instead, I sold it. Quickly, for cash. The proceeds went straight into a trust Daniel had set up for me alone, untouchable. When she tried to contest it, her lawyer told her the truth. She had no claim. The last time I saw her was in a grocery store parking lot. She was thinner, her hair unkempt. She spotted me, hesitated, then walked over. "You ruined me," she said. I looked at her for a long moment. "No," I said. "You did that yourself. I just made sure you couldn't take me down with you." Revenge didn't bring me joy. It brought me clarity. Julia had always been capable of betrayal. I just refused.